about a year ago, I came up with a complete front suspension overhaul kit for the W123. And recently, just a couple of weeks ago, I got some requests. They said, let's do this for the W126. Now, I call this the Smooth Ride Restoration Kit. If you have a W126 from 1981 to 1991, the front ends are all wearing out. They're just so old. So unless some of these rubber parts have been replaced, your ride's going to be kind of all over the place. Maybe a little rough, maybe a little spongy, maybe a little wobbly. And what I found is you can't just replace like ball joints, because what happens is you replace the ball joints, and then pretty soon you have to replace these bushings or those bushings or these control rod bushings. So what I want to do in this short video, I'm not going to do videos on how to install this, because there's videos all over the internet now, all over YouTube, about how to install front suspension parts. But I'm going to package this as a complete kit, and it will be a cost savings if you can do this yourself. And at the end of this video, I'm just going to give you some tips on one or two tools you may need if you're going to attempt this on your own. So I'm going to quickly show you what the parts are, and then I'm going to show you where they're located. Okay, these are the upper control arms, right and left side. Notice they are different. And these are the bushings that go on the end of the upper control arm that attach the sway bar at this point right here. Here's the location of the upper control arm. These bushings go bad. The ball socket joint right in here goes bad. And these two rubber bushings go right here on each side of this notch in the control arm and connect to the torsion bar that runs along the firewall. These are the two ball joints, right and left side. These are located at the bottom of the steering knuckle, and these often will wear out and they'll cause squeaking and slop in your steering. Here's the location of the ball joint. You can already see that the boot is torn, and when the boots are torn, that usually means it's all rusty and it's worn out. So if you see a torn boot, you just want to replace it. This will require a special tool to install it into the steering knuckle. These are the lower control arm inner bushings. These don't wear out quite as often as some of the other parts. It's very subtle, but because it's rubber, don't expect it to last forever. Lower control arm right into this frame member. Here's the bushing, either side, the spacers. That's what it looks like. This will require removal of the front spring in order to install these. These are the outer guide rod mount bushings. Often these are never replaced, but I highly recommend these get replaced at the same time you do the bigger bushings inboard. Here's the part right here. See that? Very hard to inspect. It's very difficult to know whether these are badly worn out or not. But if you're doing front end work, just plan to replace these. You will also have to remove the spring and drop the control arm to replace these bushings right here. Now these are the inboard guide rod mount bushings, and these are problematic. First off, they wear out. Very common to wear out the ball joint here, and you'll get clunking when you hit your brakes, because they actually control the movement of the knuckle going forward and aft. The other thing is the whole area that mounts these can get really rusty, making these very hard and difficult. And fortunately, I have a W126 here that has some of the issues I'm talking about. Here's where the bushing goes, right here. This is where there's a ball socket right in there. And there are bolts on this plate here that need to be removed so the bushing can be pulled out. But notice you have this frame member in the way. So you actually have to remove this bracket here and drop the whole bracket in order to replace that guide rod mount bushing. And this is where the problem starts. Here's the bolt. You have one here and one here that hold this bracket that has to come down in order to replace that big bushing. It's not an issue if you don't have a rusty car, but when you have a rusty car, it's really hard to get this bolt out without breaking this plate off. There's a nut plate in here that just spins. So here I'll show you an example. If it's not rusty, it's just a matter of spinning this out and putting the new one back in and tightening this down. Now we go through these kits in our shop to make sure that the threads start and are self-locking that you see here. We do not include these bolts in the kit. They are extra if your bolts are rusty. So take a look at yours if you see your bolts are really rusty. And in this particular case, you're going to have a really hard time getting that out. Sometimes you can cut the hole a little bit larger and get some vice grips in there. Otherwise, you're going to have to go in there with a very small Sawzall and just cut that off when it's in this kind of condition here. But the challenge comes when you have rust in these two areas. Otherwise, this is fairly straightforward, except for one other problem you may run into, and I'll explain that now. I want to briefly talk about insulation if you're doing this yourself and what you need to expect. I'm not going to go over the details, but I'll give you a few tips. If you're changing just the upper control arms and these bushings, you can do that without having to remove the spring. This is big danger here. So give this due respect. If you have to pull this spring out, you're going to make sure you have the right tool, and I'll go over that in a bit here. But if you're just replacing these parts, you can do it without removing the spring. If you're just replacing the ball joint, as long as you leave the shock absorber attached, you're going to have to disconnect the steering knuckle here and underneath, and you can pull the steering knuckle off without removing the spring to replace the ball joint, okay? These lower control arm inboard bushings, definitely you have to remove the spring. So you drop the whole wishbone out. If you're replacing these forward guide rod mount bushings, you have to remove the spring. Now let's talk about the rear guide rod mounts here. What do you have to do if you're going to replace this bushing right here? I've already talked about the fact that you have to remove this big cast aluminum bracket and drop that down, but it's a little challenging to get it back in. Let me try to explain what happens when you pull this bracket off. Remember the spring, see the bow in the spring? The spring is also pushing this whole assembly aft under tension. So even though you don't have to remove the spring, as soon as you drop this bracket, this thing just tips this way. So to get this back on becomes a challenge. And I'm going to show you the tools I use to solve that problem if we're not going to remove the spring. This is a complete kit I offer if you are just replacing the rear guide rod mounts. It comes with complete instructions and these two tools here. This big dead blow hammer, 2-pound dead blow hammer, because this is what you're going to want to get these in and out with. You don't want to use a big mallet. You're going to damage the bushing. Now, what about this winch? This winch is what you're going to use to pull that knuckle assembly with the front spring forward while you install that lower bracket. And I have complete instructions on how you hook this up and how it works, but you have to have some way to pull that whole spring assembly with the steering knuckle forward if you're going to get this thread started in that guide rod. This is the correct tool that you would use to remove this very heavy and super strong spring right here. I mean, you can't use any Mickey Mouse spring compress here. You can really hurt yourself. So I recommend this would be the primary tool you would want if you're going to do a complete front end restoration with the entire kit and all the parts included. Because once you get the spring out of there, then you can do everything without having the stress or the worry that that spring's looking at you right in the face. It's going to make the other parts easier to put in. You saw that you can do that rear guide rod mount without removing the spring, but you needed that winch to pull the whole assembly forward. Well, with the spring out, the spring is out, the control arm off, then you can replace all the parts. Now you're going to need a ball joint tool if you're going to do the ball joints yourself, or you could take the knuckle into a front end shop. Maybe you could get them to press the old one out and press in the new one. I don't have a sample ball joint removal tool here. This tool here was close to $200 20 years ago when they first came on the market. Then you could buy them. Now they're down around $60, $70. You can get ball joint tools for $40 or $50. But this here, this is the one I recommend if you're going to do any serious front end repair work on your W126. This is also the same spring compressor that you would use on a W123.